Well, hello and welcome to the Bingham Group's Big Three top headlines for Austinites and those interested in our city. Our Big Three stories are here today. The Austin Police Academy is set to relaunch this summer. The Texas House approves statewide camping ban in public places. And the U.S. Women's National Team will play the first match at Austin's FC Q2 Stadium. This is the Big Three. Our first story for today, the Austin City Council on Thursday passed an item intended to commence the Austin Police Department's Pilot Reimagined Police Cadet Training Academy. The resolution to commence the Pilot Reimagined Police Cadet Training Academy passed 9-1, with Councilmember Greg Cesar voting against the measure and Mayor Pro Tem Natasha Harper Madison abstaining. Austin Mayor Steve Adler released the following statement regarding the academy earlier this week. He said, quote, "Today we're one step closer to meeting the requirements the City Council imposed prior to any restart of police cadet classes. I believe we will be in a position to start a June 21st cadet class consistent with the city manager's blueprint and the mandated reform process." He went on to say, when the Austin City Council made its commitment to the community last summer to conduct an in-depth review of our police academy, we did so with very specific goals in mind. We wanted to ensure our city would provide trusted public safety for all communities. One aspect of learning that trust was to reimagine the curriculum and training materials and to achieve greater diversity among cadets and instructors. We are making progress to ensure that our cadets are more specifically trained to be guardians of public safety for all members of our community. Now, the new curriculum includes 30 more hours of community engagement programming, a 2-week community immersion orientation program, and anti-racism training. The 144th Academy will be 34 weeks long and is set to begin on June 21st. Kroll and Associates, an independent consultant, is slated to continue evaluating the APD's readiness to launch and implement the pilot class. Well, the Texas House, split largely along party lines, voted Thursday to make it a crime to camp in public areas across the state. House Bill 1925 filed largely in response to Austin's struggle with people experiencing homelessness since the city council lifted a local camping ban in 2019. Next goes to the Texas Senate, where a similar bill by Senator Don Buckingham from Lakeway has not gotten out of committee. Representative Giovanni Capriglione from Southlake insisted the bill, quote, "does not make being homeless illegal in Texas. This is a humanitarian issue, plain and simple." He went on to say this bill members helps individuals, families, and business owners across the state who are unduly subjected to violent or hazardous activity linked to the rise in camping. Capriglione said the homeless population will also benefit. Allowing people to live in street incentivizes them to live unhoused rather than to get the support services they need in permanent housing. Toward that goal, Capriglione amended his bill to require cities and counties that set aside camping areas to provide a range of services such as healthcare, mental health care, public transportation, and law enforcement. Cities and counties that create camping sites would have to gain approval from the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs under HB 1925, which also would ban cities and counties from adopting or enforcing policies that allow public camping and authorizes the state to take legal action against the local governments that do not comply. Final story here in the Big Three, Q2 Stadium, the state-of-the-art 20,500 seat home of Austin FC, announced Thursday that it will host the reigning FIFA Women's World Cup champion U.S. Women's National Team in an exhibition match against Nigeria on Wednesday, June 16th at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time as part of the 2021 WNT Summer Series. The U.S. WNT match versus Nigeria will be the first ever match to be played at Q2 Stadium, the $260 million privately financed soccer stadium in Austin. The match, which will be nationally televised on ESPN2, marks the debut of U.S. Soccer's senior team in the capital city, as neither the U.S. WNT nor U.S. men's national team have previously staged a match in Austin. The Austin FC president said, "We're both thrilled and honored that the first ever match at Q2 Stadium will feature the 4-time FIFA World Champions. Went on to say, hosting the USWNT at Q2 Stadium speaks to the world-class nature of our city, our facilities, and the popularity of the sport in our region. The match against Nigeria at Q2 Stadium will also mark the first time the U.S. has ever faced the Super Falcons outside of the World Championship. It will just be the third ever exhibition match against an African country, with the previous two coming against South Africa. Ticket information for the June 16th match at Q2 Stadium will be released by U.S. Soccer in the coming weeks. Well, thanks so much for listening to the Big Three from the Bingham Group. We appreciate your comments and your likes and, of course, your reshares. And make sure you follow this account for regular updates. Have a great weekend, and we're going to see you on Monday morning for our next Big Three segment.